introduction dulu. Okay, so let me intro class dulu ke introduction. Okay, let me introduce myself first. My name is Zuria. You can call me Miss Zuria or Miss Wawa. I have been teaching for quite some time, management subjects, communication subject, organizational behavior. If you are in first semester, then most probably this is the first time that you see me. If you like in semester 3 or second semester, maybe you have seen me before. I graduated from University Malaya in public administration, and before that, I did my study in international business in UITM. So currently, I'm furthering my PhD in public management lah. Okay, in public management area. All right. So welcome to organizational management. This is a basic subject for MBA or MIM. So basically, like this is a core subject, means that it is compulsory for you to take. So as you can see here in your UROCs, you should be able to see everything here. So in the UROCs, the SKC admin have uploaded everything in the module. Right. So in the module here, you can see just a brief introduction about UROCs first, okay? So here, one thing that you need, if you have question, then just stop me at any time, okay? So if you can see here in your UROCs, you have to complete each item first before you can further with next item. Maksudnya, you tak boleh jam, right? You have to click the first one about the course and then mark as completed, and then you can only move to the next sections. Okay. For example, like this one, I think in order for you to see my course plan here, you have to complete all items first. Okay, but you don't have any problem to view my lecture slides and also study notes. Let's take a look at about the. I think I don't have to go through all this. You can read it by yourself and then mark as complete. What I want to show to you today is the course plan. You should be able to see this as well, okay, once you complete it as. Okay, the course code for this subject is GMGT5183, Organizational Management. These are my details. So let's say if you want to meet face-to-face, you can make an appointment and then we are going to meet. It's either here, city campus, because in Razak we have 2 campus. So it's either here, it depends on my whereabout on that day, city campus, or we have another one in Jalan Tun Razak. Okay, so you just can contact me. This is my phone number. We also have a WhatsApp group. Make sure that you are in our WhatsApp group. Okay, hi, Hidir, sorry. And this is my email address. If you have anything, you can just email to me, right? This course plan is very important. Okay, I'm giving you information about other subjects as well. If you would like to find information about a certain subject, just go to the course plan. Because why? Because we have prepared a very comprehensive document for you to refer, from the course code, from the lecturer, the study plan, the topics, everything is here in the course plan. Okay, so if you want to let's say at 12 midnight, suddenly you wanted to know that how much percentage for the assessment. Okay, instead of texting your lecturer, okay, including other lecturers as well, go back to your lesson plan, sorry, course plan. Okay, because everything is here, right? Much faster lah, rather than you wait for the lecturer to respond. Okay, so everything is here. The course synopsis for organizational management, we are going to cover topics that related to management. I'm going to explain further on this later. The learning outcome for this, at the end of the course, you should be able to, from the things that we're going to learn throughout these 6 weeks, you should be able to apply managerial tools and technique tools and technique in order to analyze problematic business situations, right? So you should be exposed to managerial tools and then some of the techniques. I believe some of you holding managerial position and maybe about to, right? That's why you further your study. You are about to get managerial position. So that's good. This course can help you in acquiring all the technical skill, okay, the technical skill of this managerial position lah. Okay, and then I used improve decision making because one part of management is decision making, very important. Not only before this, I start intro terus lah. Okay, before this, maybe yes, we say that okay, only bosses make decision, alright. But nowadays, for employers, when they want to recruit, recruits new employee, one of the things that they look at is the decision-making skill. Okay, so don't say that if we are not in the top management position, if we are just like an employee, executive, we are not required to have decision-making skill. Okay, but actually we do, right? Maybe it's not as like huge decision making ataupun strategic decision making, but day-to-day basis, right? Small operation day-to-day basis, then sometimes we have to make decision as well. Okay, so take this chance to learn about how to enhance your decision-making skill and what are the elements that we should take a look at when we want to make a decision. Okay, what are the factors to consider while making a good decision making? And then the third one is to identify deeper insight into the need for modification and adaptation of one behavioral dimension. Okay. So in management, one of the things in management is one of the importance of management is we can know people's behavior, right? Because we deal with people all the time. Later, we are going to study about it. So definitely and we are going to communicate, interact with diverse kind of people. Okay, so sometimes we need to modify our leadership skill ataupun the way that we communicate to adapt with one's behavioral dimension. Okay. All right, let me take a look at, I can see some of the chats here. Zuhilmi, here we are again. Okay, I believe that you were in my class. That's why again, hello. Can share WhatsApp link for the OM. Okay, all right, someone shared. Thank you so much, Khairul. Fatin, this is my second class with you. Happy to see you again. Yeah, I'm happy to see you too. Okay, belum puasa. All right, nice to meet all of you again. I did some of you, I think, the first time see me. Okay, like I've mentioned just now, if you are in second or third semester, you might see me before. Okay. So, next. Okay, these are the materials that I'm going to use for this course, Fundamental of Management by Robbins Pearson. I think I'm using I'm using the Oxford. Is it this one? Okay, different one. Okay, but don't worry. Okay, if you have any Principle of Management, Fundamental of Management book, you can still use it. It's more or less the same. Okay. You can find ebook as well. All right. If you want to borrow, you can always go to Uniraza and then you can borrow the book from the library. They have a lot of management books over there. Okay. Okay, let's talk about the unfavorable thing, assessment. Okay. So for assessment, we have quite a lot of assessment. for this subject. This subject we don't have Coursera. Okay, let's say if you studied with me before, we do have Coursera, right? It means that it's very easy. For first semester student, Coursera means that it's an external tool for your assessment where you do a lot of self-study, you answer their quizzes, and then you get your assessment marks. Okay, but for this time, unfortunately, we don't have Coursera yet. Okay, I'm not sure after this, but for this semester, we don't have Coursera. So we have quite a lot of things to do. Why I say we? Because you do, and then I have to mark. So sama je. Okay, both of us will have a lot of things to do. So what you have to do is, kejap ya. I think I forgot to, kejap lagi. So the first assignment is a presentation, right? But this one would be a video presentation. Video presentation, just 10 marks of your assessment. And then for assignment 2, it will be a term paper, right? So this is 20%, where this is quite difficult. Okay, and then we have another one, case study, also 20%. And lastly, midterm examination, 20%. And then we don't have final examination, but we do have final assessment where you can, it's a take-home examination, take home, just like an assignment. You will have 1 week to complete your assessment. Okay, and then it contributes to 30% for your final grade. And lastly, you will receive your final grade. Okay, so this is the course requirement and policy. Everything is here for the format of your assignment. Make sure that you send your assignment with the cover page and then all the basic things lah. Times New Roman, concept 12. Okay, we are using APA. So Unirazak using APA formatting, reference list. And then one of the things that is important is make sure that you don't plagiarize any of your assignment, because any work that is plagiarized will receive a grade of 0. Okay, and that you are not allowed to be made up. Make sure that you don't plagiarize others' work. Okay, and this is a new assessment, so you shouldn't be the question will not be the same as like your seniors. I construct every semester new question. Okay, so let's take a look at the topics that we are going to cover throughout the 6 weeks. We have 10 topics in total, right? 10 topics. If you refer to management books, in management books, kejap eh. For me, in my hand here, I have one book got 17 chapters. Okay, 17 chapters. Because of why? Because I think they separated. Yeah, contohnya macam we have this topic, managing the human capital. So they have about three different topics, 3 different chapters under this managing human capital. So we only have one. They put everything inside here. Okay, so don't worry. We are going to cover everything. So the topic that we are going to cover is the introduction. We are going to learn about it today. You can see all the learning outcome here. And then management and organizational environment. We are going to learn about planning, strategic management, organizing, managing the human capital. So this is a little bit like HR if you have taken HR before. So this is like a refreshment to you. Leading and control. Then we are going to learn individual behavior and team if you have taken organizational behavior before. So again, this is like a refreshment to you. And then change management. So for this week, today, we are going to learn only topic 1, introduction to organizational environment. So these are the content. And then maybe we do a little bit discussion, right? And next week we are going to continue with the rest of the topic. Okay, so far, do you have any question? How many of you has fallen to sleep?
No question.
No question so far. So
So far, okay, madam.
Okay, so let me publish your let me publish your presentation by assessment. So can I continue with the assessment? Okay, I explained about the assessment, yeah? Okay, the first one is video presentation. Okay. For video presentation, this is a very easy task. Okay, so don't put too many efforts in this because as you can see that the deadline is next week. All right, deadline is next week. So this is just for counseling outcome. The number one first, I just want to know your leadership skill, your leadership style, and then the way that you make decisions, something like that. Okay, so don't crack your head for this assignment. Okay, you have to crack your head later in the term paper. So for this, just do maximum of 10 minutes video presentation. Why video presentation? Because you have to record it yourself. You don't have to present in the class, right? You just record using whatever software or website that you know. I gave several examples here: PowerPoint, Canva, Loom, or even Google Meet. And then you have to record and then you submit. It's whether you submit the video itself or you upload it somewhere and then just give me the link and make sure that the link can be accessed by me. Okay, less than 10 minutes. The maximum is 10 minutes. Okay, but not 2-3 minutes lah. Okay, it's about like 5 to 10 minutes. So the assignment is actually just to reflect, okay, just to reflect your managerial role within your organization. So let's say if you are not working yet, okay, if you are not working yet, you are a full-time student. So maybe what you can do is you can find out any leader and then you can assess their leadership style and approach. Okay. So the instruction, begin by introducing yourself and then overview of organization. Let's say if you don't want to do your organization, then you can choose any leader, like I've mentioned to you, means that you're describing a leader instead of yourself. Okay. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't mean that you have to be in managerial level to do this assessment. Okay. Let's say if you are a team player pun, okay, just tell me what do you do with your team. Okay, how do you inspire your team? Okay, so I want to know your role in the organization. Maybe tell me a little bit about your key responsibility. The confidential information, you don't have to put it, okay? So just leave me the general role, and then what do you think is interesting about your job? So I would like to know more, okay? And then reflect your leadership style and approach, focusing on how you motivate, how you communicate, how you empower your team members, okay? If you're working alone, then you tell me if you have a team member, what kind of leaders ataupun what kind of team player that you wish to be. Okay? And then provide example of successful leadership in navigating challenging situation with your team. Let's say if you have a specific accomplishment or you have win an award for becoming a best leader ataupun best employee of the month, so you can share with me as well about your successful leadership atau successful work lah. Okay. So far, Okay, for video presentation, the deadline is 24th March next week before midnight. Just send me the video ataupun link. Alright. If you want to use PowerPoint, then feel free to use so Canva. It's up to you. Okay. Next is case study. Okay. Case study. The deadline is week 4, 7 of April. Belum raya lagi kan? 7 of April, a week before raya, if I'm not mistaken. So what do you have to do? This assignment is to expose you with the importance of a well-out strategy in order to be successful in business. Okay. The instruction is imagine as the head of your department in your current organization. Just imagine if you are the head of department, and then you have been asked by your leader to outline the strategy for dealing with threats posed by current environment related to your department or area of work. Okay, so let's say I give you an example. If you are a bank manager, okay, if you are a bank manager, so I wanted to know that what are the threats now currently that is affecting your job, okay, affecting your job or affecting your department. So maybe one of the thing as a bank manager, maybe one of the threat is dissatisfaction of customer. Okay, so that is actually a threat because you keep on receiving complaints and complaints. So what are your strategy in dealing with these threats? Okay, how many threats? It's up to you. Okay, try to think. Why we do this? Because we would like to cultivate the decision making skill. And then it's very important for you to identify as well what can be done, right? One of the thing in management, to identify the problem, the opportunity, the threats in our organization. Okay, so here is to apply the strategic management process that you are going to learn in chapter 3, if I'm not mistaken. No, 4, chapter 4. Okay. So the task is explain the present situation of the current threats that you face in your department. And then let's say if you have data, patterns, ataupun cause of the problem of the threats. Okay, again, any confidential information, any confidential data, please don't put it in your assignment. Okay, even though that this assignment will not be published anywhere, it is strictly used for academic purpose. But if you don't feel it depends on your company's policy. If the data is confidential, so don't put it here. Okay, and then you do an internal and external analysis of business environment. We are going to learn it. For those who have learned it, this one is referring to the SWOT analysis. Okay, maybe boleh take down Apa I tulis dekat sini. This is referring to the SWOT analysis of your company. Okay, SWOT analysis means that S, this is an acronym. S is strength, W is weakness, O is opportunity, and T is threats. Okay, SWOT analysis. Lepas tu, develop strategic goal and then plans for execution. So the most important part here is the threats lah, okay, ataupun challenge. So don't waste your time writing a lot of your the SWOT analysis. You have to focus on the threats, right? And then use your strength to settle ataupun to combat these threats that you have. Okay, so focus more on the challenge because this section is important, where you should provide detailed elaboration. Okay. Again, use APA referencing style, and then total paper is plus minus 1,500 words. 1,500 words, I think about five, six, five, six pages. Okay, 5, 6 pages. And then submit before 7 April. Okay, I move on to the next assignment for term paper. So for term paper, you have much more time. Okay, you are required to send this before with at the end of our module, which is 21st of April 2024. Before midnight as well. And then I think this one is quite easy for you because I have provided the title. What you have to do is you have to choose, that's all. Okay, we have 16. Hari ni semua orang datang, bagusnya. Okay, 16 students. So I provided 7 topics. It's okay, you can choose. All right, you can choose any topic that you think that there is no first come first serve couple. No, okay. These are the topic that is related to the course content, right? The role of emotional intelligence, and then these are the current environment as well, I think, in business. Okay, for example, like inclusive workforce well-being, lepas tu startups. Okay, the compensation strategy in startups, how to attract loyal workforce. Because nowadays it's quite difficult to find loyal workforce. Okay, because people say that you can get a lot of higher salary if you keep on jump work, right? Career jumping. That's why maybe there is a way for startups to to come up with a better compensation to attract this loyal workforce, so that companies managers, they don't have to not waste their time lah. Okay, they don't spend much of the time giving training all over again for the new recruitment. And then building resilient organization strategies for crisis management and disaster recovery. Okay, the role of gamification. I think this is quite interesting as well. Nowadays, employee is looking for something different in performance improvement, right? In performance evaluation as well. I think it's quite boring. It's quite boring if we just fill up a form at the end of the year to determine our performance. Okay, maybe if we add up some elements of gamification, so the competition is much more visible, and then it can motivate people. Okay, so maybe you can explore more on this topic as your term paper. Management role in failure of the control and recommended improvement. Okay, some of the company, they keep on implementing new policy, new control mechanism, but it keeps on failing. So in your term paper, you can tell me what are the factors that make this control mechanism ataupun control improvement fail. And then lastly is about organizational power and politics. It's very common in workplace where organizational politics happen. Okay, I think it's whether we like it or not, whether we realize it or not, whether we intend to have the politics or not, but it is there because of the power, because the authority, and because of the leadership style and so on. Okay, so maybe you can explore more in your term paper the good side of it, the bad side, and then the ugly side of the organizational power and politics, because not everything is bad, right? Sometimes politics can also contribute to the organization, but how? Hi Rosie. Hand the paper need to do no, 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 no. Okay, you don't have to do survey, just research material. Exactly. Okay, you can find your material from articles, from the case, from the news. Try to make it interesting, right? However, it must be academic writing, right? Academic writing means that in report form, in essay form lah, and then use formal language, right? Um, so just choose one topic related to this topic here. Before I forgot, okay, before I forgot, if you would like to do another topic, meaning that you don't like my no lah, I mean you are more exposed to another topic. Okay, you think that I have an idea and I always wanted to write an assignment about it. So so you can tell me, all right? If you have another relevant topic in mind, just seek approval from me. Okay, because why? Because I wanted to make sure that your topic is within these subjects ataupun this topic. Okay, managing human capital, leading and controlling. Right? I tak nak you buat tajuk yang out of topic lah. Okay. That's the reason why I need the approval. I'm not I need the approval. I would like to give the approval. Okay, just to make sure that it's within this topic. Okay, feel free if you have you think that there must be someone else choosing this topic already. So I wanted to do something else. Okay, just tell me. I'm flexible on the topic, not the deadline. Okay, looking forward to being in your class again. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, like I've mentioned to you, your term paper should follow a standard academic format, means that a proper introduction, main body, and written in the report style. Okay, try to one of the thing how if you ask me how to score in this paper, try to relate with try to reflect, reflect with the management theories that you have learned in the class later. Let's say I give you one example. If you choose compensation strategies. So compensation strategies is about motivation. Okay, so masukkanlah motivation theory. So according to McClellan or according to apa siapa lagi tu nama two factors theory, right? If this compensation ataupun this awards recognition is for example like hygiene factor blah 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 blah, we are going to take a look at it later. Okay? Try to reflect with the management theories that you have learned, but don't write it from my experience, what I have read from students. At some point I think that it's very comprehensive. I know, I understand, but they put everything, they put everything because they afraid that if they don't put this, maybe not my answer will not be as accurate as I want. So they put everything. So if you put everything, means that you are not reflecting, you're just putting everything there, right? Reflecting means that you know which one is the correct one. So that's how we know that you have achieved your course learning outcome lah. Okay? So try your best to reflect with what you have learned, and then not to put everything inside your term paper. And for the term paper, it's between 2,000 and 2,500 words. I think about 10 pages, 10 to 11 pages. And then referencing, it's a must because you are going to use a lot of reference material in this assignment. So put reference. Apa lagi? APA. And then your term paper will be evaluated by this criteria. Okay. Settle about your assignment. All right. Is there any question? So far, okay.
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 Mm, So
Okay,
let's
so
okay. So let's move on to the first topic.
Madam,
Yes.
means sorry to interrupt. My name is Faizal.
Thanks.
Means kalau yang untuk yang midterm tu, katakan kita ambil yang composition tu kan.
Mm-hmm.
So kita reflect balik dengan kita punya working experience lah. Macam contoh saya kerja dekat Bank Rakyat. So
Mm-hmm.
saya kena reflect apa yang saya belajar, apa yang saya means saya punya working experience relate lah dengan dia punya konsep tu. Macam tu
Okay, Bank Rakyat. Okay, kalau ikutkan topik dekat sini, if you take a look at the topic here, is compensation strategies in startup company. So Bank Rakyat definitely bukan startup company lah.
I
So
see, I
tapi dia buat
see.
dekat dalam Bank Rakyat. So you have to imagine for
Hmm.
startups company apa yang, because why startups? Because they are not like fully established yet. So and a lot of startups, they implement creativity in their apa orang panggil tu, in their management styles, you know. So
Faham?
compensation strategies might be creative as well. Maybe diorang ada bagi compensation yang kita kat company yang more hierarchical ataupun more structured ni yang tak terfikir pun. Contohnya dia punya
Hmm.
compensation, they have, I pun tak tahu, tak nak fikir sekarang. Okay, so
Faham?
it is actually based on startups company.
Faham? Okay.
Um, not your own working experience. Okay? Tapi kalau you choose another topic, contohnya macam let's say you choose framework of future inclusive workforce well-being. Okay, contohnya inclusive workforce well-being ni maksudnya ialah you considering everybody dekat dalam company. Okay, if you notice this past few days, um, the government, they mentioned something about make it shorter working hours for women, and then with apa orang panggil tu
pay less.
less pay. Okay. Lepas tu you can see the reaction ataupun you can see the uh, people response. They say that, oh, habis tu yang bapa tak jaga anak ke, contohlah kan. Okay, so the father tak boleh nak balik ke nak jaga anak ke apa, and then the mom say that, oh, why everything put in women. So nampak tak dekat situ the bukan gap, mungkin the gap ataupun the things that might be not inclusive. Okay, not inclusive. So let's see, for framework for future inclusive workforce well-being means that you try to identify the best way to make to try to make everybody in the employee happy. So let's say if Bank Rakyat implement this, right? Implement this. I've heard like several organizations when they started a family and then they just received like newborns, not only female employees but also for the male employees as well. They get like macam apa panggil time off, okay, to handle the children ataupun to help the wife. So this is actually a good practice lah. Means that you don't you considered everyone, okay, the newlyweds ataupun the new family kan, something like that. The work 4 days a week kan, so you can choose the something like that. But it doesn't mean that bukannya I want you to come out with yang apa the impossible one. No, I want you to analyze what have been done, maybe not here in Malaysia, but it has been done in the Western countries, and then and the impact, when you do your analysis, you can see that impact is good. There is data proving that, so you can put that in your term paper as well. Okay. for me, for assignment, don't become too worried about writing what is right or wrong. Worry about how the paper flows. Okay, for me, I always see introduction, content, and after that conclusion, it flows, means that it relates. It's not about the it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality, and then it's academic writing. So when we read, oh, okay, or you give the introduction first, and then you don't, your point that doesn't lari and don't apa panggil tu, divert from the actual topic, from the thesis statement. Right. So worry about this structure. Data from overseas not specific to Malaysia research. Yes, can. Okay, as long as you relate it with your term paper, and then you put why. For me, if you are writing an academic things, keep on asking so what, so what. Okay? So you keep on explaining why you put this sentence and how to reflect it back to your previous sentence. So kalau data from overseas boleh, if it's relate, then then write in the paper how does it contribute to the whole term paper. 20% of your assessment. Midterm belum lagi, okay? Midterm, it will be an essay. It will be essays. I will publish it in week 4. You have 1 week to do it. Okay. It's a open book examination. All right. So let's continue with the module. Today, simple je. Okay. Today, introduction first. Organizational management, the introduction to organization. So before we actually move towards the elements in organizational management ataupun the elements of management, I think it's good for us to learn about the evolution of it ataupun the evolution phase, the history. Bosan sikit lah. We learn about history a little bit. Not history, but we can see like the evolution of management. Where do these management comes from, and then who introduced, who tried to define it, and then why is it important, and then how can this be relevant in our working environment. Okay, I think it's interesting because you can see that there is a rational, there is a purpose actually why you do all this. Still, maybe for those who are not in managerial position, maybe it can expose you to some questions that you have asked before. Why my management is like this? Why management is like this, and so on. Okay, so maybe it can answer some of the questions that you have been asking. Nampak lah kejap ya. If I make my screen quite small like this, let me. Give me a moment. Tadi ada setting, lepas tu. Oh, okay. All right. So for this topic, we are going to learn about management, past and present, and then managers and organization. The evolution of management thoughts. Okay, so you are going to see some of the early theories about management and some definitions of management. All right. So management can be defined as process that entails the organization, coordination, and leadership. Whether we realize it or not, actually we are in an organization, even though that we are not working, okay, as simple as family. So family is actually an organization because of why? Because we do have some called like leadership in our family. Okay, starting from when we were young, we seek for approval, for acceptance, for we learn a lot from the role model, which is our parents ataupun our guardians. Okay, or even our siblings, right? The siblings, yeah. So these are actually as the earliest organization that we encounter at very young life until now. Okay? And then after that, we go to the school. So we are actually a part of an organization as well. Okay, and then and after that we go to university. So this is an institution. Institution is also an organization. And now we are in the huge part of the organization, which is at our workplace. Okay? So I keep on saying organization, organization, again. So actually, what makes an organization? Okay. How do you like this class to be? Like, are you free to talk? Okay, so maybe I ask a few questions.
Yes.
Okay? If you if you are listening, if you are here, so just feel free to interact with me. That I think that would be great. So what do you think an organization means? I give a clue, okay? I give a clue. It comprises of four main factors ataupun four main elements. So anyone would like to give their thoughts on the elements of organization? Terusnya. What do you think an organization means? It's
It's in my point of view, it's forming a team of people who can run the strategies to execute the business plans.
Macam mana I nak tahu siapa yang bercakap ni?
Oh, sorry.
No, kejap.
Hello, I don't know if you can see me.
Okay. Amal, is it Amal?
Yes, hello.
Okay.
Hi.
All right.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, it's correct. It's a set of strategy. Okay. So I think Amal share two points here. Okay. First thing is an organization is a set of a place or an entity, okay, that have two or more people working together. Okay, so it's a set of people in organization. If you are alone, you cannot be considered as an organization. So organization is a set of people, two or more people, and then they are working together. Okay, so working together for what? Right? So that comes the second point, which is they are working together to achieve a certain goal or objective. So every organization, they have their own objective. Okay, so how are we going to see this objective? This is where management comes from later. Okay, I think in chapter 2, sorry, chapter 2 later, we are going to see about planning. Okay, so it started with as early as in planning phase, where as a company, you have to come up with your objective. Okay, if you have heard before this, the vision, company mission statement, the objective, the values, and so on. So it actually started from the first phase, not first phase lah, but the first process ataupun the first function, which is planning, right? And then we have two elements that explain what is organization. Ada sesiapa lagi nak tambah? Okay, we have another two. Okay, so we have a lot of people, and then they are working together to serve, to reach these objectives. Is it enough? So, apa lagi yang tak cukup? An organization. What are other things? Okay, so the third thing is it needs structure. Mesti ada structure. And it must have a systematic way of doing things. All right, an organization you need structure. That's why we have leadership. That's why we have departments. Okay, and these departments, this leadership can these departments, this division of work, we going to see this in later chapter, organizing, right? Organizing. Lepas tu leading. When we have structure, when we have people in top management, we have different levels of management. Definitely we have leadership. Okay, so this is another chapter which is leading. Right? For these leaders, for this manager, they need to have a certain skill. They need to equip themselves with a certain skill, traits, and so on, and style as well. Right? For leadership study, it has been evolved from dulu maybe if in general, okay, if in general we always say that whether the boss is good or bad, that's all. Okay, good or bad, baik tak baik, bagus tak bagus, okay. But actually we have a lot of leadership style in theory. Okay, in theory we have a lot of leadership style. Bagus tu dia ada banyak lagi cabang. Okay, I think it will be so interesting for you to learn about leadership style later. And then number 4 is the aim is actually to serve a society. Okay, or the number 4 organization is to serve the society. Because when we talk about organization, please bear in mind that we are not just talking about commercial organization. Commercial organization tu maksudnya business lah, company, corporate. We are also talking about non-profit, government academic institutions. Okay, so all of this is to serve society in a different way, according to their nature of the business or nature of the organization. Okay, so this 4, a set of people with structure, and then they have their own objective and aim to serve the society. Right, according to their nature of organization, nature of business ataupun their main function. Contohnya, let's say if you are academic institution, so you would like to, one way to serve the society is to hasilkan graduates, the quality graduates, right? The quality graduates, and then this graduate will contribute to the organization later. So in this topic, we are going to learn about the definition of management, functions of manager, and then different types of management theory. So let's take a look at the management past and present. Okay, so we have learned about organization. Apa orang panggil tu? What are the definition of it? So let's take a look at an organization, in order for them to move, to run smoothly, management is an important concept, a core concept that every organization should have. Right, management. This management is actually a process. So I wanted to share with you something. I have uploaded in your UROX as well, but let's take a look at this. The definition of management. I'm not going to read everything here. Summarize. Okay, I'm going to summarize. I have put this journal article in your UROX, so you can read it later. All right. So in this article, it shows that the paradigm shift in management. Okay, so what I want to share in this article is that you can see the different phase ataupun the different management definition, okay, by distinguished scholars from here. Okay, so if we take a look at here in this article, the evolution of management science can be clustered into 5 main paradigm shift, right? So by Thomas Kahn, and then okay, we have this one, and I believe that I have put this in your slide as well, from the scientific management. No, sorry, not this one. This one is under okay. So we have yeah, this one is under kan. Okay. We have scientific management theory, administrative behavior management science, and organization environment theory. But before that, I want you to take a look at the different definition of management by different scholars. Okay, for example, we have FAIL. Okay, FAIL management principle, as you can see here. I summarize, okay, I summarize. For Henry Fayol, he defined management as when you try to forecast or you try to plan, you try to organize, combine, and then you want to coordinate, control business activities. Okay, so here, you want to command and then you want to control. It's about you forecast and plan and so on. Okay, so this is according to Henry Fayol. And another another academics ataupun another scholars, ini nanti ya, I don't go through because this is actually our whole topic. Okay, and then if we take a look at another scholars, okay, for example, like Follett, Follett define management is an art. Okay, it's an art. Padahal dekat sini, dia tulis kat sini scientific, right? But yeah, earliest scholars, they think that this is an art of getting things done. It's easy as that. Okay, management is an art to getting things done, but how? But by true people. So these people who work in this organization, their main objective is to get things done, right? They have a certain task, a certain abilities to get things done in organization. So that is what management about, getting people to get things done. And then we have also Taylor. I saw the name. Taylor's, okay. So Taylor's principle is job knowledge collection, okay, improvement way of doing tasks, and then about standard procedure, and then about the worker allocation base. So in summary, what Frederick Taylor tried to do ataupun try to define is that a management is actually an overall policy, okay, overall policy of business organization, each and everything that has been outlined, the practices. For example, like this one, okay, you can see about the performing tasks, how to performing tasks, and then in terms of the job knowledge, level of acceptance of each task, okay. So Taylor's introduced a scientific management that caused paradigm shift from division of labor and significant to machinery and to facilitate labor. So other definition, okay, by scholars, some of the authors, some of the scholars as well, they say that this management is actually a process of designing ataupun maintaining an environment where people work together and again to achieve the goal. Right, so these are some of the definition of management. Okay. So when we talk again, because in this slide we don't, there is no an importance of management. Okay, so like I've mentioned to you just now, it helps you to realize why management is important, and then maybe it makes you think that why it's very important for you to be part of this management process ataupun management function. Is the first one, definitely it try to achieve the goal, okay, the organization goals. They have missions, and I believe as an employee you should know this, right? You should know what are your company's goals and objectives, what are their targets, and what are their aims. Okay, how to know? Take a look at the vision and mission statement. Or sometimes your CEO ataupun yourself as CEO elaborate this to the employees. It's very important for employee to know why they are working so hard, right? Or else later you will have employees working so hard, but they don't know for what. Okay, they will assume that, oh, we worked so hard, but we didn't get anything at the end, or where this company is going, what are their targets and everything. And it happens a lot when, let's say, if you receive a new task, for example, new task or advanced tasks, something that you have do before, but you don't get exposure why you need to do this, right? The management didn't tell you, okay, the reason why we're going to do this because we are looking for another, I'm not sure, okay, in academics, whenever things comes in. I'm not sure I'm allowed to say this, but new things comes in, it's all about rating. Okay, so one of the thing lah. Okay, one of the thing. Why we have to do this? Because we would like to receive a good rating. Things like that. Okay, so at least you know, oh, this is for rating. Okay lah, right? So you should know, okay, as a management, if you are the management, make sure that you elaborate the rationale, okay, the rationale of people doing work for the organization. If you are an employee, so try to seek what's the rationale behind it, okay. And then next is management is also important. Let's see if we have. Okay, and another thing is the management is important because for resource allocation, right? Because when we are working in an organization, we have a lot of resources. Human capital is a resources, finance, time, technology, and then we also have machinery. It's an asset ataupun resources as well. Your employee as well. Okay, your employee is resources, their knowledge, and so on. Okay, so the importance of management here. Optimum utilization of resources, very important. If you don't have a proper management, then your resources in organization, there are in organization or in management or in business study, you will keep on hearing this word, efficiency and effectiveness. Apa beza efficiency and effectiveness? When can we say that we are being efficient? And when can we say that we are being effective? Okay, so if being effective means that you are doing things right at the first place, right? You are doing things right with less error, so that one is effective lah. But efficient means that you try to reduce the one of it is the resources, the wastage of the. Yes, itu yang memang biasa kita guna kan. Effective doing right things, efficient doing things right. Okay, so the elaboration version of it, okay, efficient means that you doing things right means you don't, one of it, okay, one of the example is you have a lot of resources. So you try to do the things right by allocate the right amount of resources towards something. So there will be no wastage, there will be no overlapping of work, for example, okay. And then for effective means that you doing right things, okay, right things at the first place. So tak adalah banyak kali kena buat kan. Effective means that when you do something, you achieve your goal. When you do something, you achieve your whatever that you want without having to ubah ataupun making change and so on. Okay, so let's say if it keeps on requiring a modification ataupun change, means that maybe the first planning is not that effective. Okay, so these are the importance of management. Okay, you can take down higher efficiency and then improve the quality of life of workers. It is actually because why? Okay, so let's open up a little bit about our mind how actually management can improve the quality of life of the workers, provided that this is a good management practice. Okay, so how can actually improve quality of life is when we have management studies, we know again, if you reflect back what you have read before this, it's actually about catering individuals' behavior, correct? So we try to read people's behavior. We try to understand people's behavior. So by having a management study, by having a management discipline, we can understand what makes people satisfied working in the workplace. All right. So when we know how to make people satisfied and how to make them happy, productive, so yeah, we know how to treat them better. We know what kind of things, what kind of compensation, what kind of attitude, what kind of work that we should give to the worker. Okay. And actually, this is management is an instrument for human progress. Okay, human progress means that because we are learning. Okay, without management, I betul-betul promote management kan hari ni. Without management, we don't learn. Okay, we don't learn. We don't try to seek new things. Okay, on new discipline to understand people in organization better. When we talk about management, it works both ways. Okay, for employees to understand why management exists and for management to understand what makes your employees valuable. My boss always say he's right. He must be efficient and effective. Okay. All right. That's funny. Okay. And then other than yeah. I mean, see, told you you can you can implement in your life, right? Your work life. So maybe maybe you can say to him like, oh boss, you are so effective, you are so efficient. Okay? But I think that if he or she has been attended to management class, he know that this is whether you are telling the right thing or it's just like a sarcasm or whatever. Okay, so another important thing of management here is encourage initiative and innovation. Okay, I teach innovation, so innovation is more than products. Okay, it's about mentality. It's about the changes in humans' behavior. When we innovate means that we try to create new changes. So it can also be changes in the way of we doing the processes, the mentality, the attitude. Okay, it is when we talk about innovation, bukan setakat produk sahaja. Okay, bukan setakat physical things. Normally when we hear innovation, it's all about prototype product things technology, but actually it is more than that. Minimize wastage. This is what I meant just now about resources. And then apa lagi? Corporate image. Okay, corporate image. This is all related, right? Corporate image. This is the way that when you do things right in management, and then employees happy, and then it's people talk about your organization, share their apa panggil tu? Share their not testimony lah, share their review about the works. Okay, review about the works, their experience working with your company. So somehow it can affect your corporate image. All right, people know you for a certain things. People know you for a certain treatment that you give to your employees, right? And it works the same way as well if you are not practicing a good management. When people hear your company, people say that, oh, don't work there. All right, don't work there because you will be the next victim. Ataupun people will say that, no, the management is very bad, right? You will not be happy there. So that's not a good one because when you have this a certain image, you don't get it's very difficult for you to attract good talents, all right? Because people with good talents, they know their value, right? And I believe that all of us here know that we values a lot. Okay, we are valuable, and so we don't want to work with a company that take everything of our life, right? We want to be appreciated. We want to feel happy. So yeah, if you have a bad corporate image, you will not attract the good talent, the skill talent, and what's the end result of it? You will not get skilled people in your organization. Okay, so there is no improvement, there is no, apa orang panggil, when people are skilled, maybe they can contribute more, they can apply what they have learned, and have experience, so they can contribute back to the company. So if you don't attract these people, then you would get this the opportunity to improve. Okay? And another thing that I like to address is actually management also ada tak dekat sini? Sekejap. Okay, tak ada. But one of the thing, right? Management itself help to address management challenge, right? Like I've mentioned to you. So when we have management field, management studies, we know what's wrong. Okay, what are the challenges? So these management studies can help in addressing. Contohnya, yang paling senang lah kan, culture. Okay, culture in workplace. Women empowerment. So we know that in working environment, it has been said it's not a friendly place for women to work because they encounter a lot of challenge in working. Okay, from the perceived ability to the promotions, opportunity, everything, and then for the work-life balance. So, and if we hear the recent apa orang panggil talk about women empowerment, it says that actually workplace itself is designed for women to fail. Okay, it is not made for women to succeed in the workplace, because it look at the work requirement, working hours, and then the policy, rules and regulation, and so on. All right. So by having management studies, we can make more research. Okay, make more research to address this kind of challenge. Right. So that is why management is important. Right. Other than achieving its goal, taking care of the employee, utilize resources. And another thing is to for the bawah sekali itulah, it helps the society, exactly, by giving employment opportunity, to increase the standard of living, all right, and so on. Okay. So managers can define as individual. So who manage in organization? Okay, we talk about management and people. So who are the one who manage the organization? This is what we call as managers. It can be managers can be anybody, all right? Anybody. What I meant is it depends on your work title. So let's say if you are a chef, they don't call you manager, but if you are chef, then definitely you are in control of your kitchen, right? Like the house kitchen, right? The chef is managing the kitchen. So what goes out must must come to him first before it can be served to the clients, to the to the customer. Right? And then if you are a football coach, for example, even though that you are not a title like manager, you are coaching, right? So you possess some of the leadership style, leadership skill. You possess, you become their role model, and then you also have to make decision on the how to train each individual, each of your team. So actually you are a manager too. If you are a police officer, in the decision-making level, and you are also a manager. Because why? Because you do all these management functions. Before I forgot, management functions, I don't think that it is here. So management functions, in it, please remember, as a business, as a management graduates, this is something that we bring everywhere. Tak ada, okay lah. So this for alphabet, okay, POLC or PLOC, it depends. POLC, planning, organizing, control, and leading. Okay. So this one. P, planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. So if you are an individual who do all these functions, okay, in your daily work, daily basis, so you are actually a person who involved in managing the company, okay, managing the organization. Maybe, all right, maybe for example, like for employee in a lower level so maybe they don't lead any team because they are the followers. Okay, so in order for us to for a manager ataupun for a leader, they do all this, a set of this, okay, a set of this activity. So planning, it involves the it involves the planning and decision making, determining course of action, and then organizing, about coordinating activities and resources. Leading, it's about managing and motivating people. And controlling is about monitoring and evaluating activities, which we will cover in later chapters. Oh, ada kat sini. Okay. So planning, coordinating, commanding, organizing, controlling, and staffing. 6 types of quality that each managers must possess. Okay, so this is a general, okay, general or basic things. It is more than that, actually. It is more than that. But for me, I always love to categorize skill, okay, ataupun quality that managers possess into 3 categories. The first category, it must have technical skill. The second one must have conceptual skill. And the third one is to have the interpersonal skill. Okay. If we take a look at here, in the 6 types of quality that manager must possess, ada satu kekurangan lah, which is interpersonal skill, okay, towards people. So for me, I always like to use these 3 skills as the key competency for managers. Okay, so the first one is technical skill. Technical skill means that something, all those knowledge, okay, all the technical ability that you acquired when you become a leader. Okay, then this technical skill, all the knowledge, you also acquired when you are in your diploma, degree, master, and so on. Okay, educational ability. And then the second one is the conceptual skill. Conceptual skill means that having technical things alone is not enough. All right, you need to know how to do things, and you need to know how to do things, and you need to also have an ability to make decision, to focus, to analyze. So all of this is a conceptual skill. Right, you need to have a set of skill where people can rely on you on prediction. Okay, if we take this step, what will happen? Okay, in a matter of crisis, in the matter of risk management, people will rely on you to make decision. Right, so a good leader, you must have this ability. Okay, yang mana tadi boss always right or not? Ask him. Okay, do you have this ability or not to be efficient and effective? Okay. About the conceptual, whether from where. Okay, so if you ask me from where we want to learn, okay, technical skill, we can learn in books, in the in school, in university. But for conceptual skill, because this is so practical, so we can learn this from the experience. Okay, from the experience, and then from your decision making ability lah. Okay, to think ahead. 2-3 steps further And then based on your, sama juga dia technical skill, cumanya technical skill is to adapt what you have learned from A to Z here, then you implement. But conceptual is more than that. Okay, you have to know how to think further. And lastly, yang ni yang banyak boss tak ada ni kan, where we call as interpersonal skill. Some bosses ataupun some leaders, some manager, when they become manager or have or post apa tu, post a leadership position, tiba-tiba interpersonal skill dia terus hilang kan. Because sometimes it's because of the pressure of the task, okay, task pressure. Have to put aside all the interpersonal, all the empathy, all the apa orang panggil feelings aside, okay, because of the pressure of the task, because of the power that you have, because of the authority, because of the urgency. All right. But a good leader as well, they need to possess an interpersonal skill. Okay, interpersonal skills, there are so many interpersonal skills, the way that you interact with people, the way that you're maintaining relationship with others, not only your team player, and not only your subordinates, but also within your similar level, and definitely with your higher level. Okay, so for management, we have 3 levels of management. We have lower level, middle level, and top management. Okay, and each of management they involved in making different decisions. Nanti kita akan belajar, I think, in chapter planning, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So yeah, these 3 skills need to have, okay, 6 type of quality that managers must possess. The mental ability as well. I have been working with a boss, a male boss, right? And I can say that the mental ability was so strong. Okay, give everything to him. Okay, apa orang panggil, may whatever comes, right? I will never break. Like very strong, okay, mental ability. Very resilient lah. Whatever comes, whatever comes, you will not see he breaks. Okay, so a good leader, because sometimes when things happen in chaos, right? I remember during COVID lah, for example, okay, everybody in chaos, don't know what to do. All right, employee pun chaos, management also chaos, and then yang jadi mangsa is the middleman lah kan, yang have to convey the information to lower level and take instruction from the top management. So let's say for this, during this period, okay, a period of chaos, a period of crisis. So it's very important for us to keep a good mental ability, okay? For me, mental teruk kan tak boleh. I mean, it's very difficult, okay? And how to have this good mental ability is to have a good emotional intelligence lah, right? The way that you react so fast to the things, the way that you taught your mind on how to become calm, how to take the proper actions, okay, a proper reaction towards the situation, okay? So we have to learn a lot in emotional intelligence, okay? All right, and then are you guys still okay to listen? All right, I go straight away because so that we can finish a little bit early. If you want to stretch a bit, so feel free to do so, okay? Take a break by stretching and so on. So I just keep on continue because we cannot drink, right? We cannot drink, we cannot take a break to drink. So just let's move forward so that we can end a little bit early. Okay, so next is the evolution of management. But everything's okay so far? Would you like to talk more? If you would like to talk more, then I give you some opportunity to talk more. Or would you like to discuss among each other?
Okay.
Okay.
It's okay, just carry on.
Yes.
Okay. So the evolution of management thoughts. It's very hot. The weather, right? It's very, very hot. Okay. So the evolution of management thoughts. Here we have three evolution management thoughts. It started with the classical theory, and then we have neoclassical theory, and then we have modern management theory. Okay, I'm not going to to elaborate very in detail about this. Okay, I have given you the article so you can read. But let's take a look at the factors first. Okay, what makes management evolve, right? So what are the things, what are the factors that make management evolve? So it is all go back to the typical factors, which is social, economic, political, technological, and global factors. Sorry. Okay, so economic factor. Okay, economic factor, why management is evolving is because that in terms of, remember, one of the importance of management is the is the resources, right? Okay, I think it's getting dark here. Give me 2 minutes. Sekejap, Okay. All right. So one of the factors is economic. Di mana, okay, where the allocation of resources, okay, we need in economic ataupun in financial perspective, we need management to be much better or evolve because we need better way to utilize the resources, right? And then the production of whatever, okay, let's say incorporate, so you manufacture a product. So let's say if you are an organization who delivering a service, so the production of delivering the service. If you are in a government institution, so you, whatever that you do, the service provided to the society. We try to find better ways, right? That's why the management keep on evolving. So the second one is economic, social. Okay, so social is because we would like to learn more about the relationship, because demographic is changing. Okay, in the world, demographic is changing in a country and so on. So we would like to see improvement in relationship, and then in terms of culture as well, right? Social. Before this, I think 10, 20 years before this, mental health not so well known, right? I mean, bukan well known. It's not apa tu disebut-sebut, okay? The awareness of it ataupun
It was not a thing.
Apa
It
tu?
was not. Sorry, sorry to interrupt. It was not a thing to. I mean, people don't talk about it. People don't.
Yes.
Yeah, it was not so important as now.
True. People don't talk about it. They do? I think we do feel it, okay? But now people realize that, oh, what I feel is actually this, okay? There is a scientific name for this. There is a scientific disorder for this, okay? Before this, we just know that when anything happens, so there must be something is wrong, or you are sick, you need medical attention ke apa ke. But now people started to realize that, oh, if we feel this, meaning that that maybe, okay, maybe our mental health is not as healthy as we think, and then maybe because of the stress, maybe because of this. So when we have this problem, this newly discovered lah, okay, newly discovered ataupun newly dah jadi bahan percakapan orang, kan? We have a lot of cases as well. So management have to find a way, right, to cater this problem and so on. So that is one of it, how social factors is affecting this evolution of management. And then the third one is political. So political, maybe it's a pressure from political institution. Pressure from political institution. For example, like maybe before this, let's say, in classical theory. Okay, in classical theory, you can see there is bureaucracy theory. Okay, bureaucracy theory by Weber. Okay, this is very, very famous. Okay, in 90s. In 1900. Okay, so where bureaucracy is. Okay, so, but but after that, we have how political, for example, how political affecting on this is, let's say they wanted to have more apa orang panggil tu, investor, they need more private companies for economic development, for example. Okay, so makin banyak company, but this company, they couldn't perform as hierarchical as like government institution, means bureaucracy lah, to the structure, and then the very traditional structure and so on. Okay, but this company, they are evolving, they try to explore different structure and so on. Okay, so that is how it is actually affecting the evolution of management as well. And then and another thing is let's say in now everything is okay, I give you one example. Okay, now okay, the use of AI in education. Okay, so political parties ataupun government, they started to talk about it. Okay, penggunaan AI. And then if I'm not mistaken, they also want IPT to introduce this course. Okay, specifically AI punya course in university, right? So in order for us to create a course, to create a program, itu semua management lah kan, a management of a program. We have to plan, we have to organize who's going to teach, what kind of lecturers, which background of lecturers can teach this subject, because none of us took AI before, because this is new, right? So who's going to teach AI? In order for us to teach, we must know the things first. Kalau you pun tak belajar AI, macam mana you nak ajar? Okay, so that one is organized. And after that, throughout the process, there must be some like leaders who take accountability ataupun to take authority to approve to oversee the curriculum review and so on. Okay, so that is another thing that about politics, the penggunaan AI in university. And then technological, I don't have to explain. Okay, the technological evolvement ataupun advancement. And then for global, one of the things that I can think of is to improve ataupun to discover, to have a lot of variety of things for the society, right? It is actually, and now you can see in organization, people start to work, apa orang panggil tu, for expatriate, for example. Okay, for expatriate, they try to find companies who can provide more flexibility, so they travel to another country. I have few of my friends actually, they work in how to say, they work in Malaysia, but actually they are staying in other countries. Okay, because of the remote working. They doesn't have to be in the company and so on because of this globalization. Now you can work everywhere. You can move around. You can have your vacation. I saw a documentary before where this one lady having her time in Bali for the rest of the year while working for a company. Okay. Dream job. Dream job. Okay, so let's take a look at the evolution of management thoughts. Okay, for classical theory, we have bureaucracy theory by Weber. And then we have the scientific management. This one is by Frederick Taylor. Process management theory ataupun kita panggil sebagai administrative theory by Henry Fayol. And then neoclassical theory, Mayo and Roethlisberger. So in this, we are going to take a look at the one of the famous experiment about management, which called as Houghton. I'm going to share with you later. And then behavioral science theory by Maslow and McGregor. Maslow theory, the theory of needs, and then McGregor theory. Lepas tu we have modern management theory. This is modern management theory where we started to use system, management information system, and then in terms of empowerment, okay, total quality management, and then re-engineering. Okay, the first one is bureaucracy. Right, bureaucracy. It is actually introduced by Max Weber. It argues that every organization is characterized by three forms of authority. Okay, we have legal authority, charismatic authority, and traditional authority. Yeah. So these are the features of bureaucratic model of management. The traditional one, I can say the traditional one, which is hierarchical structure, means that you have what we call as chain of command. Okay, a specific chain of command, very structured, very traditional. Compared to what we have now, is much company is moving towards flatter structure. Okay, flatter structure means that the chain of command is much more smaller. It will be so much easier for decision making, right? And then in terms of standardization, so less flexibility here. Okay, standardization, everything is the way it is, but we can see, right? But we can see, right? Some of the changes nowadays, even in government office. Okay, I'm not saying about before this, maybe everything must be you come to the office, they will take everything, copy, IC or whatever. But now they have make it a little bit flexible where they provided online service. Okay, one of the example. But other than that, it is the same, right? I've been hearing my friends in the public sector, they say that sometimes people don't understand that some work, okay, some procedure, it will take them a few layers for them to get approved ataupun it's not that simple. Okay, even I still remember during COVID, as simple as purchasing the thermometer yang stand tu kan. So it's not that easy. The supplier must have blah 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 blah. Okay, so it's not that easy. Standardization. They have a lot of rules. They have a lot of policy. They have a lot of perkeliling that they have to follow. So this is one of the features of bureaucratic model of management. And then division of labor, very very clear. Very clear. Okay, and then as compared to nowadays, ataupun as compared to private sector, one employee is doing too many jobs at one time, right? In terms of their job position, okay, you are, let's say if you are a project manager, contoh, ataupun project executive ke apa-apa, it's clear, but sometimes you have to do work that is not in your job description. For example, not in your job description ataupun a totally new thing, new disciplines, right? But in bureaucratic model, your division of labor is very clear, right? Means that if you are hired to do this, then you are going to do this until you get promoted or until you leave the company. And then employee selection and promotion. All right. I believe that a lot of organization is very careful as well. They have their systematic procedure for employee selection and promotion, and also legal authority. Okay. So this is according to bureaucratic. This is the structure. You can see that supervisory management, and then we have middle level management, and then we have top level management. These are the three levels of management that I talk about just now. Okay. Next, we move to the scientific theory of management. Okay, scientific theory of management, it involves separation of planning and execution process, and then in terms of job analysis, financial incentive, the use of scientific methods in the selection of training workers. Hold on. Okay, later. Okay. So for neoclassical theories of management, okay, they started to introduce, for example, like human factors. Sebelum tak ada kan in bureaucratic, no human factors. It is just talk about the nature of work, the structure, the authority, but no human factor. Okay, so under neoclassical theories, if you still remember that I talked to you about social, for example, again, social factors that is affecting management. So this is the result of it, okay? Human factors. So they recognize the fact that human factors is essential elements of this social system. Because of why? Because when we are recruiting, we are not recruiting robots, all right? They are not programmed the same way. They are not programmed with the same reaction, the same needs, the same preference, the way of doing work. So we have each individual, they have their own attitude, the way of doing things. Some might be using very detailed, and some might not. Okay, so these are the human factors. Under neoclassical theory of management, they started to implement ataupun introduce human factors. Social system is the same, okay, basically the same. But instead of viewing it as an organization ataupun macam tadi kan, you can see here like a division of labor, more hierarchical structures. So here they view organization as a social system, meaning that interaction of people, okay, interaction of instead of people lah, okay, more like social system rather than just an organization ataupun money making robots ataupun something like that. Okay, and then when we introduce ataupun when they introduce human factor, so start to have motivation, how to attract ataupun how to force this employee to stay, to have loyal employees, to make them happy. All right, and then to increase productivity. Okay, one of the important thing about motivation is to increase the productivity, human behavior, and then the role of management. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at these Houghton studies, right? How many of you have heard Houghton studies before? Ataupun Houghton experiment, Houghton effect. Have you heard this experiment before? Pernah dengar tak?
Tak pernah.
No, tak pernah.
No.
Okay. I give you the link over here for future reference. This is a very famous experiment, early experiment on human behavior and management. So this Houghton study, okay, it explain, alright, the human relation approach here. So this one is under neoclassical theory. About Houghton study is actually the the experiment was introduced by several people. Mayo, or what name? George Mayo, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and then the colleagues, what they want to do is they do this three or four experiments. Okay, four experiments, but the famous one is three experiments. What they want to find out is about productivity. Okay, productivity. And in this research, in this experiment, they use observation as the research method. Okay, as the methodology of this experiment. Okay, let's take a look at this Horton studies. Upon Horton experiment. George Elton Mayo here. Okay, so it took place at in Horton Works, which is a Western Electric company in Chicago. The purpose is to find out the working condition, how the working condition affect the productivity of the employee. So this experiment took place from 1924 to 1932, and 4 experiments were conducted. Okay, for experiment. Sorry. It's here, okay, in a Western Electric company. Okay, so the first one is they call it as apa ini? They call it as illumination experiment. Okay, an illumination experiment where what they did was they tried to investigate, okay, they try to observe whether the lighting, right, the lighting affecting the productivity or not, okay, workers' productivity or not, the lighting. What they do is they play around with the lighting, okay, so to measure the relation between the light intensity and the workers' productivity. They divided into 2 groups. Okay, what they did is they divided into 2 groups of people, where the first group, the intensity of lighting was increased, and then what they expected, the hypothesis lah, okay, the hypothesis ataupun the expected outcome is to increase the productivity when the lighting was increased. Okay, and know that this was observed. Okay, the experiment was observed. And then the second group is what they did is they do the lighting remain constant or decrease. Okay, and then the expected outcome is under this lighting, under this unfavorable lighting, it will decrease productivity. But the result was not as expected, and it shows that this work condition, under this work condition, the lighting, it does not giving a different effect. Okay, it doesn't. However, it is actually giving more productivity. All right, instead of when they play around with the lighting, make it more decrease under the low lighting when they expected decreased productivity. However, it's actually increased their productivity, both of 2 groups. Okay, both of these 2 groups, the findings show that it's increased in terms of the productivity, right? And then even though, all right, some of the elements that they do here, workers, they complain. Okay, they complain about the lighting, but it's ignored. Okay, they are being ignored, but also productivity is increasing. And then they also their salary is also adjusted. Okay, decreased. But yeah, but they know because they were under observation. Okay, because they were under observation. Okay, so they do another experiment where they call it as a relay assembly test, okay, room study. So again, they separate into 2 groups of people, of 6 females. So this one, they wanted to know in terms of the work environment. They play around with the variables, several variables here, as you can see. Wage split, okay, wages split, And then the introduction of number of breaks. So the 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 first group, everything is the same, remain constant, same. But this special group, the second group, they introduce a number of breaks, meaning that they had given more breaks, all right, within their working hours, and then increasing the number of breaks, and then providing food, free lunch during the break. And then after that, their working hours also shorten. Okay, they can leave early by 30 minutes, and then instead of working 6 days a week, they only work for 5 days a week. Okay, so that is the variable, the things that they manipulate in this research. So the results show that I'm really how to. I don't know how to. So the result was okay. Under this working environment, motivation significantly improve, and then what they receive is productivity is increasing. All right, under this experiment. So from here, I think it is very clear, right? In this research, in this experiment, it shows that wages, money, financial is motivating factors. Working hours is a motivating factors, and another incentive, for example, like free lunch, and then a few other benefits, ada breaks lagi, kan? So um, from here, from this study, it shows that these are the things that can increase motivation. And then when they have better working condition, when they are happy, so their productivity increase and they produce more output. Okay. And then the third one, the third one is the mass interviewing program. So this is just the interview. And the last one is the band wiring observation room experiment. Okay? So for this one, for the time of 6 months of income, 14 male employees dependent on the achievement of the entire group. Okay, the aim of this study is to find out whether how financial motivation affect the productivity of the employees. So expectation was that productive employees would put pressure on the less productive employee. Okay, so this is like a common things, right? Because we would like to get the reward, but we need to make sure that everybody is performing as well. Okay. So during the time of experiment, what they can say is the productivity is actually decreased, and then the subgroup was founded in the former group that they established their own regulation and standard. Okay. So I think this is a very great findings as well. When in an organization, let's say things are not working, let's say if the management ataupun in the organization, when they set up rules that employees started to feel like, no, it's not working for me. I will not get anything out of it. Okay, so they started to establish their own regulation and standards. That's why in organization nowadays, we have people who maybe we think that why, even though that this organization have rules, have regulations, have specific standards, if you don't follow, then you will get penalized capital, but they still create their own regulation. They still live like the companies were theirs. Maybe because of this, right? So they don't get something out of it. That's not simply, it doesn't work for them. So as management from this experiment, we have to find out to identify what makes this employees behave in the city. The social enforcement has a deeper impact on employees than incentive from the management. Now, another results found out that the social enforcement has deeper impact. That's why The impact of this study were implementation of culture, and then employee commitment, employee engagement, it was introduced. Okay, so this experiment helped a lot in management, the evolution of management to the findings actually contribute a lot to understand organization better, to understand management better. Okay, and then Maslow need hierarchy theory. I think we're going to learn this in motivation later. Okay, Maslow, he introduced 5 needs theory, theory of needs, where as an employee, he suggested that we have a certain a pyramid to satisfy, right? We cannot jump to another pyramid if our basic need is not being fulfilled. So if you want an employee who can help others, right? You want an employee who give all to the company. You must make sure that in theory, according to Maslow, you must make sure that all the basic needs, all the security needs were fulfilled first, right? Then only you can get the best employees ever. Okay, when they are satisfied with whatever that they receive in the workplace, so they started to help others and so. What time is it now? 4:30. Okay. Other than that, for modern management, theories of management, right? This is more when companies started to use this term, right? This is more, instead of qualitative, we started to use database, quantitative, right? We started to measure things quantitatively. So in order for us to measure this quantitatively, mestilah kita kena ada system, right? System who can calculate the productivity and so on. And then for a system for us to refer, right, to make it easier for the work to manage. That's why we have one of the thing is management information system to help facilitate the managers, employees to increase the productivity. Okay, open system. And then in terms of adaptability, interdependence, and system boundaries. Typical features of quantitative approach is application of scientific tools and technique, right? We started to have much more analysis. For example, if you are in sales, you have a software who calculate the sales performance in order for you to manage your sales department. And then in marketing, for example, social media, you started to have a social media analytics to manage the audience engagement, reaction, and so on. Okay, application of quantitative approach. We start to have digital ataupun system supply chain, for example, with our supplier, to make it easier, right? The use of equation and comprehensiveness, one stop center for everything, right? Let's say if you in human resource, you have an information system, everything is there under one system. It's very comprehensive from the moment you step into the workplace sampai you nak keluar daripada workplace tu, you are using the system, okay, for everything. So it will be easier for you give any kind of claims, everything under one stop center, okay, comprehensive system. All right, I think this is the last slide. Okay, last slide. Okay, for contingency approach, under contingency approach, we are going to learn later, okay, about situational leadership, organizational design in chapter organization, and then action-oriented, and then the purpose, right? The purpose of the company, what kind of vision, mission that the company wants to achieve. Okay, so I think I would like to stop here for today, right? we end a little bit early. All right. Next week we are going to continue with chapter 2 and 3. So you can use this time, like this 1 hour, to maybe for you to do your recording. Just a simple one, right? You can use just now this one. This is one of the software as well. I like using this. Play around with this, but I don't have time anymore. I used to play around a lot with Prezi, but now tak ada masa dah. Okay, this is another presentation ataupun you can record from here as well. Prezi, okay, one of the presentation tools. Apa kita panggil benda lah ni it has the zoom features or something like that. Okay? Or magnifying features. Okay, interesting, Prezi.